Drew, did you love that?
What's wrong, KW?
the way he answered?
I don't know anything.
He was humble.
You think?
Yes, sir. Yes, saying that to some radio host is humble. I thought he answered it fine. I don't think he is in the business of ranking himself. That's clearly what it sounded like.
It'd be awesome if he was like, okay.
Well, you got Mahomes, you got Lamar, no. Everybody knows that I like Brock,
and
Iowa Mafia.
And everybody knows that ranked
Nick
from 5th to 15th.
Despises him.
No, that's not fair.
Isn't the biggest fan.
Yeah.
So let's just look at it objectively.
That's fair. I think that's the only fair way to settle this.
The graphic.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it since he became a starter?
That's pretty good.
2nd in passer rating, 7th in total touchdowns, yards per pass 1st, yards per game 7th, completion percentage 7th, playoff wins tied for 3rd, and that includes last year's down year, if you will. I mean, by that he's at least top 7.
He's top 5.
So what I'll say, and I'm gonna be consistent with this, and you know that after the top 4, Mahomes. No, this is the truth. Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Allen. From that point, from 5th to 14, 15, is in flux, and that's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
And here's the guys it's in flux with, and Purdy is definitely in that group. It's fluid. So next year he could have a top 5. He could be the 5th best quarterback in the league, or he could be the 13th. But here's the guys. Jaden Daniels is still up in the air. He had one great year, right? So you can't definitely say he's better. He looks better than Purdy right now for sure. C.J. Stroud is really up in there. And because some of the guys, and I'm going to name them quick before you go, Nick, some of these guys Purdy has been better than. So C.J. Stroud is one of them that Purdy's been better than. Now I think C.J. has more talent. He was really impressive his rookie year, but has never thrown more than 23 touchdowns. All right, Justin Herbert, Purdy, Matthew Stafford, who's 37, Baker, Goff, J-Lo, Jalen Hurts, and Dak. Now Dak, J-Lo, Herbert is arguable, and CJ and Baker. I think Purdy's been better than them. So far has been better, more consistent for his career than those guys have.
So you and I do this differently. So I'll do the quarterback ranking thing in a second. But first is on the quote. I said this on Friday briefly, but I was the only one who got to talk about it because I just squeezed him in the most to lose Indy 500 list.
Yeah.
I think you either say, I think I'm the best in the league, or you say, I don't concern myself with that. And I think that is, to me, there's 2 routes there. Either the super confident, every time I take the field, I think I'm the best quarterback. That's how I've always felt. That's just who I am. Or it is, that's a sports radio thing. I don't really get into rankings. I leave that up to
you guys.
Right. I don't love the I'm probably like the 9th best in the world. That's just it.
It's a lot of it's in flux.
Right. Even though
it's all-time answer.
Yeah, even though it's accurate, I'm in that second group. I'm in that second team.
I think
he's being honest.
I personally think.
If he had said he's the best, you would have destroyed him. Rightly so.
No,
you wouldn't say.
I think that I would have said obviously he's not, but I think that. Do you think Lamar thinks he's the best in the league? Yes. Josh, yes.
Yeah,
Joe
but that's
Burrow,
that top
yes.
4 group.
Right, and so Mahomes obviously.
Anybody else saying that?
Well, so I think you have said, and this is why Wilds was laughing, because you have been very consistent that Tier 2 is huge.
Well, quickly, let me say, because we make fun of the guys that are like, Durant's a top 10 player, because it's 16 guys in that. Yeah. This is different, though, in that these guys are still playing.
Of course.
Right? Like the NBA top 10 dudes are essentially done with their careers or done with their careers.
I guess I would be more, I'd have smaller groups. So if we agree that the top 4 are the top 4, and I would have Mahomes in a tier above them, you probably would too, but it's just easier, those 4. I think there's 5 outside of that to me are just clearly better than
Not
Brock
in
Purdy.
flux?
No, that are better than Purdy. So that would, by the way, would leave a spot at 10. But I think Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, and Baker Mayfield are better than Brock Purdy. And so then
Jaden Daniels doesn't get. He's done it for 1 year.
Right.
He looks great and he was amazing, but he hasn't gone as far in the playoffs as Brock has. It's just been a 1 year thing.
Well, and everyone on that Goff. I mean, Goff it's arguable, but I don't think definitive is just a preference.
Yeah,
because he has not been as good in the playoffs as Purdy has.
Maybe I misunderstood the assignment here. I'm telling you who I think. You can't tell me I can't say I think Jaden Daniels better than him. I think he's better than him.
I just do think
that's fine if you think that. I don't.
It's not fine.
No, but hold on. Do you?
I'm saying what criteria do you have that a guy who has gone deep into the playoffs and went to the Super Bowl is better than a guy who just had 1 year?
So Purdy has been one game further than Jaden, right? Jaden made the conference championship game.
Well, Purdy also made that, right?
Right.
So he's done it twice. So
Jaden. I mean, if we're going to do this,
2 runs.
Right. Jaden's been in the league 1 year, just like Purdy in his first year made the conference championship game. I also think he's a better player. I'll tell you right now, I think sight unseen, Cooper Flagg is better than certain NBA starters right now. What am I basing that off of? What I believe. If it's not, I think these lists are a combination of accomplishment and what we believe they're going to be, circumstance, all of it. I think Brew agrees with me. If I can just finish the Nick Wright list, it doesn't have to be the Kevin.
I think,
do your list. Say whatever you want.
I hear you, Nick, and I just think that we're trying, and I think Purdy was even. You're trying to look at it as objectively as we can.
Yeah.
And it's you're right. You have your list. I have my list.
And again, if I had Trevor saying, Trevor's better than Brock, there is nothing to lean on. If you said Mac Jones is better than Brock, there's nothing to lean on. The Jaden Daniels thing, I think there is a lot to lean on there. There is, I mean, for the record, he has been further in the playoffs than Allen or Lamar. Nobody thinks he's better than them. So it can't just be the playoff thing. Yeah, he's been further in the playoffs than, I guess, other people on my list, just Baker. Because Goff's been to a Super Bowl, whatever it is.
I do think being objective, and I tend to think Jaden is better than Purdy too.
I know you do.
But I'm just saying, being objective, you're like, the verdict's out just because he's only done it 1 year. Like
100%.
CJ, a year ago, I would have been like, oh, CJ's definitely better.
Same thing, yeah.
Now, maybe, you know what I mean?
So the point that I was trying to make is, I think Purdy is in that next, because I would tier it like that. My next tier has Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, Geno Smith, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. That's not the order. You know what I mean? That group. Someone in that group is top 10. By my own ranking, everyone else is just top 15. That's where I think there is more fluidity to it. And if it is a purely accomplishments thing, and this is the debate you get annoyed with, as you're getting annoyed with this one, is my argument will be all last offseason, when Purdy was coming off 2 immaculate seasons, I was the bad guy saying, I wonder what it would look like if he didn't have all that talent around him. Then we saw it happen. They won 6 games. And now I'm still the bad guy by saying, I think that is why making the Super Bowl 2 years ago does not inherently make him better than Matt Stafford, who won it 4 years ago, or Jaden Daniels, who we were saying, is he the league MVP his first year in the league? Like, I think all of that is reasonable and totally legitimate. It's not, if I were saying Trevor's better than him, just because I like the player more, I have more upside belief with him, there's nothing to lean on. I think for every single one of those guys, there are things to lean on and real questions about it. And he's in a group with Herbert, and who has all the talent but none of the accomplishment. You know, Dak, who has accomplished almost as much and done it longer, but hasn't reached the heights.
Playoffs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I think what you're proving, but you certainly will not admit it, is that I'm right.
No,
it's fluid.
Well,
because it is possible that he passes a few of those guys you have in your list right now.
Yeah,
you know, in that tier ahead of him. It's possible that this year he passes Stafford. in your eyes.
Oh, yeah, because Stafford ages out of it.
Right.
Yeah, but it's also possible that Caleb, guys I didn't even mention, Caleb passes him. Or that Jordan Love.
I mean, they would have to have a spectacular year, and Purdy would have to be mediocre again.
Yes.
But But I just think it's y'all don't like it. Maybe you think it's not great TV. Brew is right. It's fluid. It's fluid. Where are you at?
He can't do anything.
Well, Nick has said before that if he went through adversity,
guys,
he would be. I'd be done criticizing.
I'm going to lose my mind.
You did say that, Nick.
Here's my
only request. That was the whole goalpost thing.
Here is my only request, guys. When we talk about Brock Purdy, is it okay for us to acknowledge that last season happened?
Sure.
You said he.
You act like he was the worst quarterback in the league.
In the Super Bowl. It's like,
yeah,
the guy was in the Super Bowl. He's in the NFC, conference finals game. It's just kind of like,
that all elevated him, right?
And then even his stats last year weren't as horrific as
last year.
Okay.
And it's true. Stafford, without his weapons, hasn't been. How great? And I like this guy, but how great would Jalen Hurts be without A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
Or two of them. I mean, but you got him clearly, and he's been phenomenal in Super Bowls, and he is clutch. But Purdy's was good in the one Super Bowl he played.
Yeah, it should be. This year will be interesting because he won't have everybody, but they do have an easy schedule. So
he needs to go out and play well.
I just don't think it's fair to say there's nothing he can do. It is very clear what he could have done. Elevate a lesser supporting cast, the one opportunity in his career he had to do it. He didn't. Is that a death knell to him? No, it's not. But and when that was the opportunity, I am then not going to, when I went into last year thinking he was around the 14th best quarterback in the league, am I going to, because of last year, be like, you know what? I think of him more highly. No, I'm not.
So what can he do this year if everybody's healthy? That's what I'm saying.
No, they don't have as good of a supporting cast as they once did.
Okay, so if he plays well.
Yes. If Brock Purdy is excellent this year and the Niners are back to being excellent this year, then that will be very influential. And, of course, all of it matters. All of the games have to matter. And throwing out last year when you personally, more than anybody on sports TV, pray at the altar of quarterback wins.
Yeah.
Except for the guys I don't like. For them, you don't care about it. With Drake May, it doesn't matter. With Brock Purdy, it doesn't matter. If it goes against how I see it, then the quarterback wins don't matter. It's look at his passer rating.
I'm still a wins guy, but he's in the mix with what's your second level?
With Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, Dak Prescott, Geno, and Jordan Love.
Okay, I think he's accomplished more. That's all.
He has more than all.
Well, he's accomplished. Yes, he has accomplished more
in shorter times than a lot of those guys.
Right, and
so
guys,
I think he deserves credit for that. Yeah. That's all.
Okay.
And he did have a down year when his team wasn't around, like most quarterbacks would. That's it. But he's gone further than Dak has, but he's lined up.
No, he's got the accomplishment as far as how far he's taken the team. He's ahead of most guys. He's oddly identically tied with Jimmy Garoppolo, but he's ahead of a lot of guys.
Well, so if you can't use an accomplishment and you can't use his passer rating, we can only use when he doesn't have his all-pro guys available.
No,
that's what's confusing.
And in fairness, that Garoppolo, they got to the Super Bowl almost despite him in the playoffs. They weren't throwing the football.
Correct.
Whereas without Brock, they don't get to that Super Bowl the way he led those comebacks.
All that's true, different. Which is why it is ranking individual players in team sports is always tricky. But it is also why, again, if we are going to be intellectually consistent on this, there is what is the argument that Josh Allen is better than Jalen Hurts, other than we just all know he is.
Well, he puts up better numbers than Jalen Hurts.
What, does he?
I think so.
No, well, I don't know.
Does he not have a better?
No, hold on. I bet over the last couple of years since Jalen Hurts has been a full-time starter, Josh Allen does not have a better passer rating. He certainly doesn't have more, the total touchdowns because of the tush-push stuff is off the charts. And it's the because Josh's passing numbers
They're
aren't
probably
insane.
slightly better than Jalen.
Listen, I think he passes for more yards. I think Jalen turns the ball over less when Josh was leading the league in turnovers, all of it.
But that's where you say Jalen has had a much better supporting cast.
Right, and it's also that we just know it. Like, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, had deep playoff runs, and we were like, no, Josh Allen is better. We do this all the time. That guys that Jalen is an easy one because he won the Super Bowl what's the argument that Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson or the other way around? It's that he just is. And it's,
other way
yeah,
around.
I'm sorry, I said it backwards. Like, we do that all the time. We do it all the time.
I think Purdy's about 10th. I just want to argue with you. Justin Herbert.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.